She thought it was DoorDash. She had ordered Thai food 30 minutes earlier, the same pad CE she always got on Tuesday nights when the apartment felt too quiet and cooking for one felt like too much effort. She was still in her work clothes, hair half up, socks that did not match. She grabbed her phone to check the delivery status and walked to the front door. She opened it without looking up, and the first thing she saw was boots. Not a delivery bag, not a stranger. Boots, military boots, and above them, a uniform, and above that, a face she had been talking to on a laptop screen for 16 months and dreaming about every single night. Her phone hit the floor. She did not even hear it, because her husband was standing at their front door in Sacramento, California, 3 months before she ever expected to see him, and she had absolutely no idea he was coming.
I want to ask you something before we go any further. Have you ever been so used to someone being gone, so conditioned to their absence, that you stopped being able to imagine them actually being there, where the waiting becomes its own kind of normal? Sarah Calloway knows exactly what that feels like, and what it feels like when that absence ends, not in 92 days the way she had counted, but right now, on a Tuesday, without warning. Tell us in the comments, are you watching this alone or with someone tonight? And if you have ever had someone come home early, or if you are still waiting for someone right now, let us know below. Your story matters here. Now let us get into this.
Welcome to Story Tales, the place where coming home soldiers' stories, soldiers' emotional moments, and real human love are told the way they deserve to be told. Honestly, without holding back. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell. We are a community and we would love to have you. All right, Sacramento, California, a Tuesday night in October. A woman named Sarah who thinks her dinner is at the door. Let us begin, and I promise you, if you leave before the last 60 seconds, you will regret it. Ryan and Sarah Calloway had been married for 6 years when the deployment orders came through. They had met at UC Davis. She was studying nursing, he was finishing his ROTC commitment before his commission, and they had that particular kind of relationship that looks easy from the outside because both people inside it work very hard to make it that way. They laughed at the same things. They argued and resolved it within the hour. They had a shared playlist on Spotify called Us that was 142 songs long and perfectly reflected both of them and neither of them at exactly the same time. The last song they added together on the night before he shipped out was the one they had danced to at their wedding. Sarah added it at midnight, and Ryan saw the notification on his phone and came and found her in the kitchen, and they danced to it in their socks on the kitchen floor of their Sacramento apartment without saying a single word. In the morning, he was gone. The deployment was projected for 19 months. It had happened before. Ryan had deployed twice in their 6 years together, and they had a system, a language, a set of rituals that helped them survive the distance. Video calls every Sunday, a shared online journal where they wrote to each other between calls, a standing joke that whoever was in the same time zone as Italy had to eat pasta and report back. They were good at this. They had to be, because loving a soldier means learning to hold on and let go at exactly the same time.
By month 16, Sarah had developed a rhythm. She worked long shifts at Sutter Medical Center, 12 hours when she could get them, because 12 hours meant she had less time to sit in the apartment and notice how quiet it was. She had taken up running, which she had always hated because Ryan ran and she wanted to understand what he got out of it. Turns out she still did not get it, but she was now doing 4 miles on Saturday mornings, which was not nothing. She had dinner with her friend Priya every Thursday. She had started watching an embarrassing number of nature documentaries. She had repotted every plant in the apartment twice. On their Sunday video calls, she kept most of this from Ryan, not because she was hiding anything, but because she did not want him feeling guilty for the life she was learning to build around his absence. She told him the highlights. She made him laugh. She showed him the plants.
What she did not tell him was that some nights she put his pillow on his side of the bed and held a conversation with it out loud just to practice speaking to another person. Or that she had cried in the cereal aisle of the grocery store when she saw his brand of granola on sale. Or that the Sunday calls she kept so carefully light and funny were the most important 90 minutes of her entire week. She was fine. She was genuinely, functionally, admirably fine. And she missed him with every single cell in her body every single day. Let me ask you something right here. Have you ever had to be strong for someone while quietly falling apart on the inside? Drop a heart if you know that feeling. And where in the world are you watching from right now? Drop your city in the comments below. Now, let us keep going because Ryan is about to do something that changes everything. Ryan had been thinking about it for 2 months. Not the official homecoming, the brass bands, the bass ceremony, the organized chaos of 500 soldiers returning at once. He wanted something different, something that was just theirs. When the opportunity came up, an early rotation, a reshuffling of assignments that opened a window for a small number of personnel to cycle home ahead of schedule, Ryan put his name in immediately. He did not tell Sarah. He asked his commanding officer to keep it off any official communication that might reach her. He coordinated with Priya, Sarah's closest friend, who had his number for emergencies, and sworn her to absolute secrecy. Priya's exact response via text was, "I am going to need a moment. Okay, I'm ready. I will not say a word. Oh my God." Ryan had one other request for Priya. He sent her a Spotify link and asked her to figure out how to get it playing in the apartment before he arrived. He did not explain why. She knew exactly why. The song was the last one they had added to their playlist together, the one they had danced to in their socks at midnight the night before he left. He wanted her to hear it first, before she saw him. He wanted the sound to reach her before anything else. Ryan landed at Sacramento International at 4:18 p.m. on a Tuesday. He was in uniform. He had shaved for the first time in 3 weeks, and he felt like himself, in the way that you only feel like yourself when you are about to be somewhere that matters. He took a rideshare from the airport. He texted Priya from the back seat. 10 minutes out. Priya responded, "She just ordered Thai. She is home. Song is ready. I am going to cry, and I'm not even there." He smiled at his phone. Then he put it away and watched Sacramento pass outside the window. The oaks, the old neighborhood streets, the particular quality of Central Valley afternoon light that is not quite desert and not quite coast, but something entirely its own. And he thought about the morning he had left and the kitchen floor and the song and her socks that never matched. The car pulled up outside their building. He sat for 10 seconds, just breathing. Then he got out. He walked up the stairs. Second floor, apartment 214, same worn carpet on the steps, same half-dead fern outside the door that Sarah had been meaning to replace for 2 years. Everything exactly the same. Everything the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. He texted Priya, now. He heard it, through the door, their song, playing inside their apartment, the song they had danced to at their wedding, the song from the playlist at midnight. He knocked. Inside the apartment, Sarah heard the knock and grabbed her phone to check the delivery app. The app said her driver was still 4 minutes away. She frowned at her phone, figured it was her neighbor from 216 who occasionally knocked to borrow olive oil. She walked to the door in her mismatched socks while their wedding song played from the Bluetooth speaker on the kitchen counter. And for a half second she thought, why is that playing? She had not put that on. But the knock came again and she stopped thinking about the music and she opened the door. She looked down first. Boots. Military boots. Her eyes traveled up, slowly, like her brain was rationing the information. Uniform. Ribbons. His hands. His jaw. His eyes. Ryan! Her phone dropped. "Surprise," he said, quietly. Just that one word, like everything else was already understood. She made a sound that started as his name and dissolved into something else, something without syllables, something that was pure Sarah, pure relief, pure 16 months of Sunday calls and granola aisles and conversations with pillows, all releasing at once. She grabbed his uniform lapels with both hands and pulled him through the door, and he came, pack and all, still in his boots, right there in the doorway of apartment 214, and they held on. Behind them, through the open door, the Sacramento evening was orange and warm. The half-dead fern swayed slightly in the breeze from the stairwell. Inside, their song played all the way through to the end, and neither of them moved until it did.
The Thai food arrived 11 minutes later. The delivery driver knocked 3 times, then left the bag outside the door. Ryan found it when he finally set down his pack. He held it up with one eyebrow raised. "Dinner?" Sarah laughed, the kind of laugh that sounds like crying and probably is both, and said, "I ordered for 1. "I will eat the rest," Ryan said. "I have been thinking about Pad CU for 4 months." So that is how Staff Sergeant Ryan Calloway's homecoming dinner went. Pad CU from a takeout container, on their old couch, with the Sacramento evening going dark outside and the plants he had never met lined up on the windowsill, and their full playlist, all 142 songs running quietly in the background. Priya texted at 8 p.m., "Are you okay?" Sarah texted back a photo, Ryan asleep on the couch with his arm around her, still in his uniform jacket, one boot off and one boot on, his head tilted against hers. Priya replied with 23 crying emojis, and then, "I am adding this to the group chat. Everyone needs to see this." She did. Their friend group exploded. Someone shared it outside the group, and by the next morning, the photo had been shared tens of thousands of times under the caption a friend had written. "He came home 3 months early. She thought it was DoorDash."
Here is what stays with me about Ryan and Sarah. It is not the surprise. It is not even the reunion, as stunning as that moment at the door was. It is the song. That Ryan, from wherever he was in the world, running on no sleep 16 months into a deployment, thought specifically about how he wanted her to hear their song before she saw him. He wanted sound to reach her before sight. He wanted her to feel the memory before she could process the reality. That is not just romantic. That is someone who has spent 16 months thinking about who their person is and what she needs and how to love her exactly right. And Sarah, who had spent 16 months being strong and functional and carefully light on their Sunday calls, who had cried in grocery stores and talked to pillows and repotted plants twice. She did not say a word when she saw him. She just grabbed him and pulled him home. Which is exactly what you do when someone you love is finally at the door. You do not look for the right words, you just grab them, and you do not let go. If this story found you at the right moment, if something in it hit somewhere real, you are in the right place. Storytales is built for exactly this, coming home soldiers' stories. Soldiers' emotional moments that remind you what love looks like when it is tested. Soldier coming home reunions that make you want to call your person right now and just say, "I am thinking about you." Subscribe right now if you have not already. Ring that bell, because our next story is already in the works and it is going to hit just as hard, maybe harder. Tell us in the comments, what type of coming home story do you want next? A soldier coming home to a dog who waited? A sibling surprise? A veteran's first Christmas after years away? You decide. We build it. And wherever you are watching from tonight, whether that is Sacramento or San Diego or somewhere across the world entirely, thank you for being here. Take care of each other, always. See you in the next story.